Hi, everyone. My name is Evelyn Baez, and I am a multifamily specialist in El Segundo at Lyon, Stahl Investment Real Estate. Y hablo español.
And my name is Rachel Garcia, and I'm with CRE Capital Investments. I'm the CEO and founder, and we do commercial real estate financing.
So, today we're going to be talking a little bit about our life experience and just dive into what it's like to work in commercial real estate as a woman.
Yes. So, as for myself, I've been in the industry for, going on 12 years now. God, 12, 13 years, I want to say.
Nice.
And it's been great, honestly. I love it. I enjoy it. It's fun, although it can
Fun, rewarding.
rewarding, a roller coaster,
Stressing.
stressful. I haven't lost all my hair yet, but we're almost there.
Great.
But it's been good. How is it going for you?
Awesome. Yeah. So I just started 4 years ago. I've been with the same brokerage since then, and I'm still working with the same team and all the people that I started with. So it's a learning experience. Definitely learning a lot and growing. I love this industry. I wouldn't trade it. I think I ended in this industry by accident, actually. I never
Really?
planned to be in commercial real estate. It was just
Really?
a decision that I made, and apparently I got good at it. And I just went with it. I rolled with it.
Very nice.
How about
Yeah.
you? Did you start off?
So I started off in banking. I was with a big bank. I was actually with several big banks, and I was in their business banking and then their commercial real estate. And eventually, I started my own brokerage. But prior to that, I was also with a big brokerage, and I was like, you know what? No, I want to do my own, and I want to start my own. And this was after some years of knowledge and resources and building that. It wasn't overnight, because as you know, commercial is really, really challenging, especially if you don't understand it.
Right.
And I mean, we can just dive right into it, right?
Yeah.
Like, our hottest topic right now is that, especially in this market, I feel like so many people want to start doing commercial real estate. They've been in the residential side, it's been slowing down, so they want to pivot into the commercial real estate side. And that's amazing. But like we've talked about before, you want to make sure you have great mentors, great resources, because I personally see it more than anything, where they bring me a transaction, and it's like, oh, they opened escrow months ago, and they just didn't have the right resources, the right lenders, so they couldn't get the deal done.
Right.
So they're giving me 1-2 weeks to be able to close the deal. It's like, and all going back to knowledge. And
All
it's
the
important.
experience you have is literally translating right now. Like, you are gaining trust from people who you
Exactly.
haven't met, because obviously you have a good reputation. And I think that's really important in this industry, is having a good reputation, good track
Absolutely.
record. Transaction record is crucial in this business.
It is.
So let's just talk a little bit about how it's been for you this year, how you're still able to close deals in this market compared to last year. Because I think last year was a really good year for everybody with low interest rates, but then people kind of fell off of that wagon little by little due to high interest rates. But clearly you're still producing, I'm still
Yes.
producing. So let's dive
Yes.
into that and let people know what we're doing
Of course.
to make money in this market.
Of course. I feel like this has been my best year yet, believe it or not. And although rates are extremely high, I'm like, this year has been really, really good for me. I'm closing a lot more than I did last year. Last year I did well, but this year I'm doing a lot better. And I think it's honestly a lot to do with getting creative with your files and learning about the scenarios and learning about the borrower, right? That's number one. And number two, it's being able to perform and knowing what you're doing, right? A lot of these business owners, they think that, oh, you know what, the rates are really high, so I can't buy right now, or the rates are really high, so I don't want to refinance and pull some equity out and buy more. But it's like, no, there's so many ways to get creative in the financing. So This year I did a lot of bridge loans, a lot of bridge financing. And I'm not sure if you're familiar with the product, but it's a temporary loan. It can be anywhere from 12 months to 24 months. And you're on an interest only payment. However, once the rates go down, right now I'm actually in the process of exiting a lot of those bridge loans that I did. So you want to make sure that you have that in place, right? Where you're getting them the loan, the bridge financing, and you want to make sure that you have an exit for them as well. Because a lot of lenders will throw you in a bridge and they'll just throw you under the water where it's so hard for you to be able to exit. I mean, there's one client that I have right now that's completely under the water, and it's multifamily, 17 units, and he can't get out of his bridge. Like he can't exit. Like he just can't do it because he's highly leveraged.
So what's his exit strategy now?
He doesn't have one. And it's just been super, super tough to be able to do it.
Yeah.
And you're starting to see that a lot more often now. But that's the importance of having not just, a good lender, but a good resource, somebody that's knowledgeable and that knows what they're doing. And for us as brokers, we have so many different types of loan programs that we're able to pivot through that. And we're able to, had that been my borrower, I would have structured it differently, right? If that makes sense.
No, yeah, I agree. And I think like for me, being a listing agent, last year I was doing a lot of listings and they were converting into 1031 exchanges, but now I'm seeing the difference as well. Like a lot of them are only selling if they need to. But where I'm making my most money this year is just working with my pool of buyers, like very specific buyers who only use hard money or bridge loans. And honestly, like I like them better. And I think that's another reason why I'm doing really good this year is because they close quick, they close fast, and they're not 30, 60, 90 days. They're like cash offer, hard money, bridge loans. And I think maybe that's our secret for this year, being in commercial real estate.
Yeah, and honestly, I think that's what's been really making me successful this year is that, right? And then I have, for me, and we can dive into this new topic, is for me, it's all about relationships, and it's all about building that trust and building that relationship. With my knowledge and with my years of experience, all of my clients, they trust me so much that they come to me for everything. Yeah. And, earlier we were talking about masculine and feminine energy in our industry. And I feel like that's very important to have your masculine energy, but also to have that feminine energy. And I feel like that's what makes me successful and makes me thrive in this business, because business owners, they're coming to me for, hey, I need advice, CPA stuff, or my, attorney stuff, for my, everything. I feel like I'm their rock, really.
There's psychologists, their
therapists,
every
all
hat.
of it.
Divorce counselor, everything.
Let's
Kids,
not talk about
children
divorce,
therapy.
geez.
So we wear every hat.
Yeah.
And that's another thing you mentioned. You said you're able to keep your repeated clients. And I think being a woman in commercial real estate, we're really good at that. Treating our clients like, they're our friends, family. We have a relationship with them. They're not just transactional. They're not just a check. Like we actually see them emotionally, like, hey, I thought we were friends. Happy New Year, happy birthday. So that's the difference with working with women in real estate. We treat our clients a little better.
Yeah, we do. And not just that, but I feel like we also carry, at least for myself, I also carry that masculine energy. And I know when to bring my feminine energy into the business. Ooh. My masculine, I use it for negotiations, for terms and rates and all of that, for negotiation stuff. And my feminine, I bring it in through like the process. You have to be patient. You have to be understanding. You have to be transparent. You have to be all these things to your borrower in order for you to build that trust, right? And for them to be open with you. In the beginning, it was tough, right? They were not telling me about their bankruptcies. They were not telling me there was a lot of stuff that they were hiding, but through the underwriting, it gets, we start to see that. And now it's like when you build that trust, they'll tell you up front, like, oh, I have this and that, by the way. It's like, okay, like, listen, I'm on your team. Like, I want to help you out.
Right.
So, I need you to be transparent with me, like where you are with your financials and your credit and all that good stuff.
Yeah. Well, you just mentioned masculine energy. And if you know me, I really like to dive into this topic. But is it just me, or have you noticed that women who thrive in any male-dominated industry, like there's a lot of masculine energy in them somehow? I mean, they don't look like men, but they just like thrive. Like they have like those, not, I don't know.
You have to, at least for me, I have to know my balance, right? I mean, you're engaged, right? You're in a relationship. Like I'm sure in your relationship, you know how to like balance that out, where you're masculine at the office, you're masculine, in your place of business. But when it comes to your fiance, you're not bringing in that masculine energy, because he wants, at the end of the day, a man wants a feminine, a woman that has those feminine qualities. So it's a challenge, but it is definitely something that I'm mastering, that I'm learning how to like balance out, right?
Or use to our advantage.
Exactly. Yeah. Like me in the dating world, it's like, okay, like let me bring down, like
tone it down a little bit, Rachel. You don't have to be a man.
So before, when I would go on dates, I would always offer to pay. And so many men would tell me that is such a masculine trait.
Well, I don't know. Like, for me, I feel embarrassed. Like, I want to.
And now I'm like, okay, that makes sense.
Yeah.
It's true. You need to let the man take care of you and feel like, okay.
Right.
Like, he's got it. Like, he can get us. Like, it's okay.
I think for me, it's more like before, 5 years ago, it was more of a test. It was more of, will he want me to pay all the time? Because then I'm out. Like, maybe that's not good, but I'm sorry. But no, for me, my masculine energy, I'm very competitive. And I think it's very important for women to know, if you have a lot of masculine energy, put it in the right places. Like, don't put it in the wrong places, because it can backfire and can be toxic to people around you. So for me, I'm competitive, and so I try to compete with who I was yesterday. Like, I compete with last week's results, last month's results, because if I start competing with someone else, that's where it gets toxic, and you ruin bridges, you burn relationships. Because
I agree. And for me, honestly, I don't compete. I compete against myself. If anything, I want to collaborate with other people. I constantly have residential agents and lenders reaching out to me, asking me for guidance, for resources, because they want to jump into the commercial real estate. And honestly, I'm more than happy to help. That makes me happy. And I feel like now that I'm at this point in my career, like I want to give back, and I want to be able to be a resource for everybody else.
Exactly.
And I want to make sure that everybody sees me as, not just this successful person that's just, what is it called when you're just like about yourself?
Egotistic?
Yeah, selfish. It's nothing like that at all. Like, I want to be an open book. We're honestly constantly receiving DMs on social media, on LinkedIn, asking like, hey, how do I get into commercial? I always make sure that we reply, because that shows that we are there to actually help and be a resource, and not just like, oh, look at me, I closed this. Look at me, I closed that. Look at me, new escrow this. Look at, new escrow that. Like, no, like I'm here to help other people too, because I want us to all win together. And there's so much to go around. Like, I see brokers trying to compete against each other, and it's like, listen, you can never be me, ever. Like, ever. You could never be me.
First of all, you're a woman.
First of all, I'm a woman. And second of all, I would never want to be you. There's no competition. No. Like, it's night and day.
Right.
Some people rather deal with a man, and some people rather deal with a woman.
Yeah. It's all about energy. Like,
it's all about energy.
Get along with.
Exactly. It's all about who you get along with, and the relationships that you build, and how you move your business. The way that we move our business is completely different from everybody else's. So therefore, there is no competition.
Absolutely, I don't no competition.
I'm in competition with myself.
Yep.
And I'm in competition with myself, you know, from what I did last year to what I'm doing this year to what I'm doing next year.
Yeah.
And, you know, we can, you know, jump right into our goals and what makes us successful, what makes us drive and things like that.
Yeah. Well, before we end that topic, your biggest enemy is yourself.
Yes.
Your enemy is who you were yesterday. That's who you're competing with. Stop worrying about others. Worry about your own results. Like
Worry about yourself.
So, okay, that was a good one. Next topic. Let's talk about how we track our success. And let's be brutally honest. Are we where we expected to be out today in this market?
I'll be honest with you, I'm not. I am definitely not. However,
how much off are you, and what do you think went different? And
I'm not too far off, but I could have definitely done better. So here's how I'm kind of like, I guess for me, I feel like I'm not where I was last year. I mean, I'm sorry, I'm not where I was last year. I did a lot better than I did last year, but the goals that I had for myself this year, they're just not where, you know, we're about to end the year. We're in December, right? We're pretty much towards the end of the year. And I still have a few closings left. However, it's not where I wanted to end my year. However, I'm not going to be hard on myself because...
So you wanted more.
I wanted more, exactly. And there were certain things that I had that didn't, you know, fall through, you know, like as far as like support, and I needed to get, you know, I'm trying to get my marketing up and trying to do more advertising. So I think that's where I lack, to be fully transparent, like videos like this. And I've said it many times, I'm an introvert, believe it or not. I'm an introvert, and I don't, it makes me uncomfortable to do videos and podcasts and broadcast, you know, like, look at me, this is what I'm doing. Like, I don't know. I'm just more like an extrovert to myself, close, and travel. That's what makes me happy.
It's difficult to make videos. It's uncomfortable, but it's rewarding yet necessary.
It's necessary. And like people say, like people tell me all of the time, like all of your videos are so like, one, inspiring, and two, like they motivate me. And also there's so much knowledge that you put into your videos, and that's selfish of you to not share them. So that's when I kind of started doing it a little bit more. I was like, okay, that's right. I'm not just sitting there marketing, walking around like, no, like if I'm gonna do a video or something, like, listen, this is what I'm trying to get, like, get your point across.
You want it to be valuable. Yeah, absolutely. You don't want to make a video and be like, hi, like dress up, hi, I'm an agent, I close certain amount of deals.
Yeah, you don't close anything.
And it's like, no, bring valuable information to the table.
Because you and I know that there's people that are marketing all day, every day, yet they're not closing anything. So what good do I get out of that?
And that's the thing. We're too busy closing. There's not enough. Like, how long did it take us to plan this? Like, a lot. Like, months. Like, it was all, but we just never had the time.
Our schedules are, you know, are all over the place. They're not aligned. Like, I mean, I'm flying back to Miami on Saturday, so we're like, okay, we got to get this in before I head back, you know? Now I'm starting to come more often, but having, you know, being from California and Florida, being by coastal, it's a big balance, right? And having businesses, you know, here and there, it's like, all right, I have to fly in to, you know, take care of this. All right, I got to fly back to take care of that. Like, it's just a matter of like balancing it out. So it gets challenging, but yeah, this whole marketing stuff, I love it. It's great. But
that's your challenge.
But it's my biggest challenge, right? Like, and do I like it? I mean, it's just, you know, am I going to add some value to somebody else?
Hopefully.
And I personally don't like to throw numbers out there because that discourages some people, and it like makes other people feel like, oh, no, like that's a little bit like that little bit. So you want to, so I personally learned the hard way. I don't like to disclose. However, for me, it's a numbers thing, and it's something that I put for myself. Like, this is where I want to be. Some people, whatever I'm closing, they're like, damn, like, how are you? Like, even my family, they're like, how is that not enough? Like, you're making a lot of money. Right. Yeah, it's a lot of money for you, but that's not my goal. Like, I have large goals. I have huge goals. So I want to make sure that the revenue that I'm bringing in and the revenue that I'm closing, that it's, I have goals.
Yeah.
And so,
but I like to disclose because it's just a personal thing.
I mean, that's
this
you.
should push people to think bigger. So I hope this challenges people,
Yeah, maybe it can. Absolutely. You never know. I mean, some people it'll challenge them. Some people sometimes they feel discouraged, like, oh, well, like maybe, I don't know. People, everybody's different, right?
Everyone has personal problems. This isn't supposed to attack anybody. This is just me sharing my life.
Yeah, no, and that's great. So what are you planning to do for next year?
Next year, I just officially became a senior agent at Lyon, Stahl.
Amazing.
So I think the next title will be vice president. Don't know how long that'll take. I just need to hit my quota. But yeah, I'm officially a senior agent.
Amazing.
I can finally have juniors and mentor people, and I'm excited.
That's good. Good for you. I'm excited for you.
And
that's amazing.
Do you plan to still stay in Miami all year next year? Or?
I don't know. I'm so busy here that I'm having to fly in more often than not now. Mm-hmm. So I don't know. I still don't know. I'm going to give it a full year in Miami and then kind of feel it out. I mean, regardless, we're nationwide. So right now we have deals in Texas. We have deals in Arizona, in Florida, in California. I mean, we have deals everywhere. Mm-hmm. So I don't know yet. I feel like Miami is great. It's amazing, very expensive, extremely expensive to live. The 3 weeks that I've been here, I'm like thriving. I'm like, oh my gosh.
You're in LA?
Yeah. What would cost me over there, like a simple dinner, $300-$400 is like $150, $200 here. And I'm talking about for myself, just for me.
You eat that much?
I know, it's just that it's expensive. It's very expensive. The cost of living, I mean, everything is just really expensive. But at the same time, I really, really like it because it makes me level up. Right. Like I said, that's my business just went, it really took off.
It forces you.
It forces you to level up. And you're around people, like all of my neighbors. I mean, where I live, like they're all very successful. And if you don't have money, you're obviously not going to be able to afford to live there. So it makes you, be around, like, I feel like who you're surrounded by and who like, when we were talking about mentorships, like for me, that is like, a level up, like being around all of these people and
exactly.
And, having them, where I live. It's amazing.
Yeah. Talking about mentorship, I have a mentor.
Okay.
And it's been going great.
Nice. Very good.
I've actually had a few mentors throughout my 4 years of real estate. I think it's important to have mentors because they give you their blueprint.
Yes.
They pass down all of their experiences, and you're able to take shortcuts in life by just learning from their mistakes and them pretty much telling you, take this route and you'll get there faster. So did you have any when you first started your career?
I did have mentors, but honestly, throughout my career, I outgrew them. And so right now I don't have a mentor. I'm looking for one. I asked, a few people, but so far, I don't know.
No.
No response yet.
Cut that. We can't put that. No.
So, we just, we'll see. I don't, I think it's great to have mentors, but for me, I feel like having people that inspire you, I think that's a mentorship alone.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I feel like you can be a mentor. Have you been has anyone taking your mentorship?
I mean, I do get, people do reach out to me a lot, asking me to like mentor them. Obviously, I haven't really had the time. I've just been so busy. But eventually, that's definitely something I do want to do. I mean, as it is, I feel like I'm already kind of mentoring
Yeah.
as I'm working with, residential lenders and residential agents, helping them jump into the commercial side. So I think eventually I do want to start,
Yeah.
actually mentoring. But so far, yeah, I mean, for me, it's all about giving back, right? If I'm just keeping all the knowledge and all of the success to myself, like what
Yeah.
fun is that?
Absolutely. And I think of it this way. You already have all these years of experience, and you're still trying to get up here. So you can be a mentor for those who want to get up to
Get
this
up to that
level while
ladder.
you get
Yeah,
to the
because
next
there's
level.
levels. Absolutely.
So
There's different levels.
So I
yeah.
think like some advice for people that want to be mentored by, someone like Rachel in commercial lending, or like me in commercial real estate. Like I tell everybody, if you want to be mentored by someone in sales, I think the first thing you should do is bring them a deal to get hands-on experience, to learn how to close it from A through Z. Like learning how to close is important. Otherwise, you're not going to get paid, right? So that's where someone like Rachel comes in and shows you how to close it and how to get paid, right?
Exactly. And not just that, but I mean, people that are just new to the industry in itself because they don't know where to start. That's like the number one question. How do I get started in commercial? When it comes to real estate agents, I always tell them, find a mentor. Figure out what type of commercial real estate you want to do, right? There are different assets. On the commercial real estate side, I'm like, choose an asset. If it's multifamily, then find a mentor that is successful in multifamily and go from there. Partner up with them. Even if you have to share your commission for the first year or two as you're getting your feet wet and learning, and then you can just, take it from there. But
experience is everything.
Exactly. So that's the way that I like to position it. And if you're on the lending side, if you're a residential lender and you want to learn commercial, reach out to me and I'm happy to be a resource for you. I'm happy to help you and see how we can work together and teach you the process from beginning to the end, and really helping you through everything, because with residential and commercial, it's night and day,
right?
A lot of people think like, oh, I can do commercial, but it's like, okay, have you done it?
Right.
And how do I get started? Simple as this. Bring me a deal.
Yeah.
And we'll do it together and we'll walk it
It's
together.
that simple.
It's that simple. And that's what I tell everybody. If you want to get started in commercial, okay, great. Start prospecting commercial. Here's how to start prospecting and who to start prospecting. Once you get that deal, bring it to me and we'll work it together. That's the only way you're going to learn, because you're hands-on.
Hands-on experience.
Hands-on experience. And that is the most that's the best experience that you're gonna get. Best mentorship.
And you get paid.
And you get paid.
And that's another thing.
Exactly.
When I started 4 years ago, I had to drop my ego down.
You
drop
have
your
to.
ego and learn from people. Even now, I don't care if I have 4 years or I go to 5 years. I'm still gonna keep learning, because those experiences from others, that means potentially you could be making more because you're learning how to close bigger deals, right?
Exactly. Yeah.
And also keep in mind, some personalities are not, like, for example, there are people who have personalities who go very well with residential real estate, showing open houses, dealing with families, being emotionally there. That's not me. I can't give up my weekends, go feed a dog, go show houses.
Yeah.
I just can't do that. I'm all about the numbers, and it's just a different ball game. So if you're an agent and you realize, I actually like being involved with people and families and showing them and treating them out, okay, maybe you're better there and maybe you'll be more successful in that field.
Yeah,
right?
I agree, because I can't speak on that. I've never in my life done residential. I've always been on the commercial side, so I can't say. But from what I hear is that it's very emotional. Very, very emotional. And I'm very like, all right, are we doing this or not? Like, full transparency. These are the numbers. Do you like them? Yes, no? Yes. Okay, great. Let's get started. Yeah. Like, that's simple. Yeah. I'm not about, I don't like the fence, or I don't like that. Like,
can we
that's not
tell
commercial.
them to include a washer?
Yeah. Yeah, I've never experienced anything like it, but I've heard, stories. So, I mean, it just depends. Yeah. It's personal preference for everybody.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's not commercials, definitely not for everybody. And it does take for you to have some thick skin to be in this industry.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I've people have gone off on me, but just how they've gone off on me, I've gone off on people
Brush
too.
it off.
And
Brush
you
it
just have
off.
to learn to brush it off and learn that this is part of business.
Mm-hmm.
And most importantly, if you do and when you do get in the industry, know what you're doing, because that it kills me. It kills me to see people out there advertising commercial and commercial this, commercial that, and haven't closed any transactions and are trying to do it on their own. I've had several residential lenders reach out to me asking to get into commercial and have me mentor them, so on and so forth. They're like, "Oh, you're a broker, but I thought you were a direct lender. I want to learn, but I want a direct lender." And that's because they don't want to share the splits. But then they end up ruining it for everybody else when they're trying to go through a transaction.
Yeah.
Like they ruin it for the borrower. They're not able to perform during escrow. And it just makes us all really look bad. And that's the type of transactions that end up falling on my lap.
Exactly.
It's like, oh, this residential lender went directly to this lender, and 3 months down, that lender couldn't perform. So now we're looking for a broker to be able to close, and we have 2 weeks.
Yeah, I have residential lenders who always call me and ask me to send them my commercial deals. But respectfully, why would I do that? You have no experience. It just doesn't make any sense. It puts me in a bad note. You know, like you said, I don't know. You have to be a master of your craft. If you're residential or commercial, just stick to it, master it. And if you don't know it, drop your ego, ask for help, learn, listen, and just keep closing deals.
Exactly. I agree. I completely agree. So, I mean, I love the industry that we're in. I personally, I mean, that's, I've never been on the residential side, but honestly, I can say I really, really enjoy it. It's for sure a passion of mine, what we do. And every day is different.
Yeah.
Every day is a new day, new experience,
Exciting.
something always happening, deals falling apart to escrows coming back to life. And, it's a cycle.
Yeah.
It's literally the cycle.
I think the best part about being in commercial is you have to be creative. Every deal and requires you to be very creative, how to structure, how to put your terms. And that, I don't know, for me, I like that. I like that it's not
too.
just, okay, 30-day escrow inspection and we're done. No, this one requires your brain. You have to think. You have to think.
Yes, it requires your brain. It really does.
And that's one of the reasons why you have to partner up with someone who has experience, because you also get to learn how creative they are. Like, how do they think? How are they solving this problem? Because every agent solves different problems. And if you're working with someone who can't solve the problem, that's where the deal ends. Like, that's it. You couldn't solve it. Close. You don't get paid. And I don't know. Every deal can get solved with a creative solution.
Exactly.
Every deal.
Yeah, I agree. I completely agree with you. So that was a lot. That was a lot that we covered. That was a lot that we went through. But, with all that being said, it's a great reward. Being in commercial is very rewarding. At least for me, it allows me to travel. I travel a lot.
Yeah,
That's what I love to do on my spare time is travel and enjoy life. Honestly, that's what's important. Like, why are we working so hard if we're just, if we don't get to enjoy it?
Yeah.
So I think it's, for me at least, it's about having a fine balance between my business and between my personal.
Yeah.
Right. After I close a deal, I usually take myself out on a nice vacation.
Nice.
Yeah, and it's rewarding. I feel like
very rewarding.
Like I'm able to do it, and I don't just fly myself out. I fly my family out, and that's also really rewarding. To know that they're able to enjoy the fruits of my labor.
Of course.
It's amazing.
And also just hanging out with people who are on the same level. because
Yes.
you can share those experiences with them. Like, for example, you don't know this, but you inspired me to buy those 3 units in Londale. When I met you and you told me
Wow.
about your units,
Yeah.
and I was thinking, oh my gosh, like she bought those units, when she was my age.
Yeah.
So I need to get on it. So I just want to let you know that because of our
Amazing.
friendship,
Yeah.
I took mass action and I said I'm gonna buy some, and
That's
eventually I'm
amazing.
gonna be like you and keep buying more apartments.
Oh, good. I'm glad. See, if I did anything right in this world, it inspire somebody.
It was inspiring. I mean, I saw a Latina,
Yeah.
hardworking, owning
Yeah.
real estate, not just real estate, but apartments. And that to
Yeah.
me, you really, that day we left our lunch date in Long Beach,
Yeah.
you just put this spark in me, and I said, I'm going to do it. Like, what's stopping me?
That's so funny. That's amazing. I'm so happy. You never shared that with me, by the
No.
way. But anyway, tell everybody how we met. It's so funny how we met.
Well, I got a random call from a friend a mutual friend. And he said, you need to meet this person. You need to go on a lunch date with her. I'm going to set it up. Don't worry. And I'm going to connect you guys, but please go. You guys are going to be really good friends. I can see it. You guys are the
Yes.
same. He kept
Yes.
saying, you guys are the same
Yeah.
same person. And I trusted him. I said, okay, let's meet. And we
Yeah.
met at Long Beach.
Yeah, we did. And it's funny because same thing for me. He reached out and he's like, you need to meet her. She's hungry. She's killing it. And this and that. And, a lot of people, there's a lot of nonsense on social media, right? So I
Yeah.
was like, is she legit or
He
not?
spoke too highly of us that it was too good to believe.
Too good to believe. But
Yeah.
then once we met, we're like, okay.
Yeah. Now we're like, amiga.
Yes, we're
Checking
like,
in. Are
yes.
you breathing?
Exactly. And so that's the beauty of life. you
Yeah.
know?
And I feel like in this industry, when you work in a male dominated industry and you meet another aggressive woman closer,
Yes.
you kind of just, at least for me, I just want to like hold on to them and never let them go. Like I want them in my circle because I feel like we're going through the same hurdles, same challenges. And it's just nice to have another person, to relate and be like, hey, how did you overcome this?
Exactly.
We pick off of, we
we share each other's ideas and share each other's like resources and
how
all of
would
that.
you handle this?
How would you handle this situation? Exactly. And I mean, just like the question that you asked me, earlier, like as a woman in this industry, I mean, men are always going to be men, right? They're going to try, whatever. If you're a good-looking woman and you're out there on social media making videos and doing this, they see, oh wow, she's an attractive, successful woman. Let me reach out. I always tell them, I'm not going to go to lunch with you. I'm not going to go have a coffee with you unless we actually have something to discuss.
Or show
like
me
a
proof of
scenario.
funds.
Or show me proof of Yeah, show me your proof of funds. So no, in all seriousness, I always tell them, okay, you want to meet for lunch, you want to meet for dinner, that's absolutely fine, but send me the scenario, email it to me so I know that you're serious. Not until they send me a full scenario with financials and everything, then we have a lunch to discuss the deal, to talk about, like we have something to talk about. Like I'm not just going to sit there and entertain you just because you want to look at a pretty face and this girl, I just want to take her out to lunch. No, I don't have time for that. I really don't.
Yeah, not only that, but there are older people who have too much time on their hands who want you to take them out and wine and dine them to get their business. So also watch out for like older couples. Like I've had a few older couples where they're like, oh, we'll only do business with you if you take us out to Mastro's or take us somewhere.
You're kidding.
And I get their business, but they just want you to go above and beyond. So watch out for them too.
Wow, that's amazing. I've never heard of such a thing. That's crazy.
Yeah, maybe in real estate.
Oh my gosh. Wow.
But I mean, if first you have to feed them off if they're real.
Yeah, exactly. And that's honestly, that's the way that I do it, is send me an email with all the financials. This is what I need. And then we'll discuss the scenario. And if it's legit and if it's actually a scenario, okay, let's set up a lunch and we can discuss. We can talk business. But other than that, no, I don't have time.
Yeah. So talking about time, what do you do on your free time where you're not out there hustling, calling?
I
Closing.
mean, so I mean, as we discussed, I love to travel. I love to spend time with my family, my friends. I mean, when I'm out in Miami, obviously I don't have, family, but I do have some friends out there. So I like to spend time with friends. I like to travel. I like to try new restaurants, and I like to really spend some me time. I've been trying to connect more with my feminine energy this year, and really, really trying to tap into that. So I've been trying to go on this like spiritual awakening journey.
Yeah.
So I'm more so just working on myself.
Awesome.
And by doing, just different things. We did the breath work together. That was incredible. I do like to read a lot as well. I like to do activities. I work out. I go to the gym. Yeah, those are some of the things that I love to do. I love to eat. I love food.
Yeah, and it seriously, when you're in this industry and you kind of operate more in a masculine energy, you really,
do.
as a woman, you have to really learn how to bring that down, because
Balance.
it will affect the people around you, your relationships, like your partners,
It
your
does.
friends, and you have to learn how to bring it down. Otherwise, you're going to be operating in like work mode, competitive mode. And
Exactly. And in
it's
your masculine energy, and you want to make sure that you have that fine balance. Like that's exactly what I've been working on all this year. Like with my friends and my family, I try not to talk about work, and I try not to bring that up. And
yeah.
then in my business, it's like, all right, all business, like business, 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 business. Like that's all I'm in. And it's really tough to balance it out. But at the same time, you have to learn how to do it. And because I've been tapping into my feminine energy and bringing that out and doing more, bringing more of it out. I think it's also improved my business because, as we talked about in the beginning, having that fine balance between masculine and feminine energy is important in this business, because how do we get it done? Exactly how I explained it with my feminine energy. You build patience. You act like the resource for the borrower in all aspects. Like, they're like, Rachel, like now, like I told you, they will not do anything without me. It's like, hey, Rachel, I'm thinking of buying this. Where do I start? Who do I go with? What real estate agent do you recommend? What attorney do you recommend? What CPA do you like? They ask me for everything. And now they're like, I learned my lesson. I will not sign any documents until I speak to you.
Right.
Like until you approve it. And it's like that to me, it makes me feel like, I don't know,
super
motherly,
feminine,
like motherly.
Right.
Honestly,
And that's what it really
me feel
is.
motherly. And that's what it is.
Is bringing out.
But then my
feminine.
masculine energy is like, I'm a straight up bitch. When it comes to like getting the best rate and term, it's like, nope, this is what we're doing and this is how we're doing it. And I like to restructure stuff and because I'm all about my borrowers, I'm all about my clients and bringing to the table what's best for them.
Right.
So sometimes they're like, oh, well, this is what we have. Nope, we can do better. Come back to me with, XYZ. This is what I want to see. And they do it.
Yeah. I think for me, I'm kind of scared of myself when I'm in work mode. Like, I am not who I am outside of work. Like, outside of work, I'm this like funny, talkative. But when I'm work, something changes where I'm just work, this. I like it though. It gets me farther in my career.
Yeah.
But it is something I've been working on myself, just toning it down. And also the healing journey. I've been on this same healing journey. I started this year, and it's been great. It's been a lot of like learning who I am, what I like, how I operate, and just talking more, taking care of myself more as well.
That's good, as you should. And that's important because at the end of the day, we have to watch for ourselves, our health and our well-being in order for us to thrive in the business that we're in, because it comes with a lot of stress.
Yes.
It comes with a lot of stress, and it comes with a lot of tasks, a lot of things that we have exactly, a lot of responsibility. So it's very, very important that we take care of ourselves first and then take care of the rest afterwards.
Right.
So yeah.
And then have you noticed also, like, going into this soul-seeking journey and bringing out more feminine, have you noticed it's just increased our vibration, and you're attracting different types of people too? Like, you're more acceptive to more people. Like, I don't know, like my wall is down compared to before.
Yeah.
And I'm less, I used to be less approachable. Let's just say that.
Yeah.
And you know that. You brought it up before.
Yeah.
And now.
Yeah, because I mean, people have told me, and I mean, and I told you, and I brought this up to you because people used to tell me that in the beginning, like I honestly didn't feel comfortable approaching you because you were just like really like straight to the point, really cold, not so like.
They told you that, or you're telling me that?
No, you.
Oh, really? Even after
that
we
you
met?
were like no. So when I told you that.
Oh, got it.
Okay. Yeah, that you were just like not approachable at all, like just very like.
That's my work mode, and I'm just like, do not talk to me.
Yeah.
Mode.
Yeah.
And that's where I have to be like, I'm not working now.
Yeah. Before I would call her, guys, and she'd be like, yeah, okay, I gotta go. I'm making calls. Like, okay. And every time she would reach out to me, it's like blah 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 blah. I'm like, good morning. How are you? And now she always reaches out with good morning. How are you? ¿Cómo amaneciste? And I'm like, okay, okay, all right. But yeah, it's it's a balance. You have to for sure know how to balance that out.
But that's why I appreciate it. I think when you told me that, I just gained more respect for you because those are the people I want in my life. People who are honest, constructive criticism. And when you told me that, I was like, that's who I want. I want someone who you're not telling me to hurt me. You're telling me because you want me to change.
And I didn't say it in a hurtful way either. It's how you position it and how you say it.
Yeah. So no, I didn't tell you that, but I'm also grateful you told me that because that was kind of like the shift in me as well.
Yeah.
And I think, remember that one time when I kept calling you and texting you about your outfits? And that was like my transition there because you really just, a light bulb went on when you told me that. And I said, there's something that I'm not seeing.
Yeah.
And someone else sees it. So, I'm working on it. My pink nails.
I love it.
My
your pink
earrings.
Okay. I love it. This is great though. This is great. And vice versa. If you feel like there's anything like, I love to have people be transparent with me and tell me like, you know what, this is, like my family and my friends, they were like starting to tell me like, you're starting to be a little too like business and how you operate, it's all business. Like you need to know how to have that balance. And this was a few years back. So I've been for sure working on that to where now I kind of like know how to, how to balance between the two.
Turn it off.
Exactly.
Turn it back on.
Turn it off and turn it back on. Yep.
Yeah. Someone once told me, a female, she told me the best way to turn it off is when you're driving back home. That's the time you turn it off. Put on music and just mentally tell yourself, I'm done.
Yeah.
Because once you get back home and you answer that business call, you go back into work mode.
Exactly. And it's true. It's true. It's having that balance. Yeah. Well, I know we're running out of time, but it was amazing, at doing this podcast with you. And I'm glad we were finally able to do it.
Yes,
oh my gosh. We have been trying to do it for a while now. So I'm glad we did it. And hopefully there will be more to come.
Yes. Stay tuned for next year when she's back.
For part 2. Yes. Once I come back, we'll have to share some more great maybe resources and let us know in the comments what you guys want us to discuss more of. If you guys have any questions or anything, please reach out to myself or to Evelyn. My Instagram name is CRE_capital _investments, and then hers is,
mine is at Baez, BAEZ, sorry, at BAEZ Investments, INVESTMENTS, plural. And we speak Espanol, so
yes, we speak Spanish as well. We were bilingual. So if you guys have any business owners, investors, developers, anybody looking, please reach out to us. We're always happy to help. We're always happy to jump on a call and see how we can help you guys out and see how we can be a resource to you guys, which is what's most important. And again, the best way to get into commercial real estate is finding a mentor, start prospecting commercial, bring us a deal, and we'll walk it together.
Drop your ego, open ears, and ready to learn.
Your ego is not your amigo.
Yeah. Your ego is your enemigo.
Yes, exactly what she said. Yes.
All right. Thank you, everybody.
Bye.